plus scenic travels. Today we are in Munising, Michigan, and we're getting ready to get on the Picturesque Rock cruises. We're going to cruise down to Lake Superior and look at the picturesque rocks in Lake Superior National Park area. So, would you like to join us? Yeah, join us. We're gonna have a good time. Here we go. Located in Michigan's beautiful Upper Peninsula, the cruise highlights include miles of brilliant colored sandstone, cliffs, sea caves, and beaches, miners' castles, lovers' leaps, Indian Head, and a Chapel Rock. They are iconic national landmarks seen on this cruise. Spray Falls is also seen on this cruise. And here comes our means of transportation to the rocks. Coming in. The boat we will be traveling on is the Grand Island, as it's getting ready to drop off its last tour right now. And just like that, we're pulling away from the dock. And we did switch boats. We're on a different boat. Off we go. So, the name of the boat is Miner's Castle. I was wrong. Miner's Castle.
Big bad boys. They're going to be pushing us along at a neck-snapping speed of a whopping 13 miles per hour.
Right now we are in Munising Bay, heading out to Lake Superior. Munising Bay is one of the deepest, safest harbors in the Great Lakes.
Looking off to our right, you'll see a white circular buoy in the water over there, a little bit behind the boat now, that marks the resting place of the Smithmore 229-foot combination steam sail vessel. That was in a collision in the fog north of Grand Island back in 1889. The Smithmore is being towed back into Munising for repairs, but that's as far as she made it. She's laying down there at 110 feet of water. Main deck is at the 90-foot level, and she's in remarkably good condition for her age. A lot to do with the frigid cold temperatures of our lake. Pretty much inhibits any bacterial growth. Once again, I'll throw a dark blue. If you were standing in a lighter section of water, you'd be at roughly 2 feet. However, if you chose to take just 2 steps towards the boat, you'd immediately drop off into 65 feet of water. That's a sandbar. Most sandbars have a gradual decline. This one here is almost vertical. I think that's a lot to do with the traffic that constantly flows through the East Channel.
See the size, how big the cliffs are, by how small the boats look.
Years old. And there are 2 different layers of these cliffs. The upper layer is a dolomitic sandstone that's a very hard rock. Underneath that is a Jacobsville sandstone, which in relation is quite soft. And it's that combination of a hard rock over a soft rock that lends to an undercutting of the shoreline and allows for Mother Nature to do some pretty fancy sculpting. Later on in this cruise, you'll also notice some colors showing through the face of these cliffs. what causes these colors is a groundwater mineral seepage. The best way that I can describe this to you, if you could imagine a water table that sits above the level of this lake. That water table pushes minerals out the sides of these porous cliffs. Those minerals then trickle down, dissolve, oxidize, and leave stains behind, much like someone's painted the face of the cliffs.
This is Miner's Castle
one directly atop the
Rock.
castle, and the other one on
Approximately
the
80
right.
foot high.
They've also built a really nice park up there, equipped with barbecue pits, picnic tables, and a Liz Claiborne outlet store. Get out here, take 858 east out of Munising. Follow the road signs, take about 20 minutes. Most of the caves and the caverns you see at the bottom of Miner's Castle only go in about the length of a kayak. There is one of those, however, that goes all the way through the castle. You can swim into the front and out the backside as long as you're not too claustrophobic. Follow that rock shelf back to the shoreline and see the first of 3 sand beaches on the tour. This is Miner's Beach. Miner's Beach is a favorite spot for the area kayakers. The only beach within the
This is Miner's Beach.
You can drive directly to. Throw your kayaks into the sand before you're ready to launch into Lake Superior. That rock shelf that I was talking about, you'll see a lot of people out on top of it there. Pretty popular spot to jump into Lake Superior from on top of the cliff there. About 20 years ago, a family of beavers built a dam on the creek that feeds Bridaldale. Pretty much dries it up by the beginning of summertime. We've received an excessive amount of rainfall in Munising this summer and kind of overrun those beaver dams. Continue to run this long. Past that waterfall, you'll see 3 large cones. Call these the painted cones. Try to remember your colors. Purples, oranges, reds, and browns come from iron. Blues and blue-greens come from copper. Whites come from calcium, and your blacks are from manganese. You'll notice this first large cone is mainly iron ore seepage.
Kraken rock is 35 years old. Hasn't moved hardly at all.
What happens is water works its way into the many cracks and crevices of these cliffs. That water then freezes, expands, and acts like a wedge, breaking off different sections of the rock. The way you can tell the age of these cave-ins is by the size of the boulders. It's actually after Mosquito Beach where I think this trip really starts to get interesting. All of my favorite rock formations are yet to come. Plus we can sneak you up closer to the cliffs through here, starting with one of my favorite sections. These are called the Caves of Many Colors. And these caves are an excellent example of how that wave action carves out a soft, thin layer of rock. And now looking up the shoreline, you'll see a beautiful archway appearing. I would not recommend the jump off of Lover's Leap. I don't care how much you think you're in love. The water depth beneath that archway is only 3 feet. People say this section of cliff looks a lot like the painted desert. That is how the pictured rocks receive their name from the various images people claim to see. And over the years, they have claimed to see it all. Indians on horseback, trains, farm scenes. I had one kid last week swear up and down he saw Dwayne Johnson. Getting up closer to Indian Head, you can see why the many Native Americans that once jet skied through here were quite frightened of his presence.
Indian Head
Manitou, they call
Rock.
him, or the Great Spirit. The way that I see Indian Head, his chin is at water level. He's got a horizontal line for a mouth and an oval shape for a left eye. His forehead slants back into the trees, and those many trees are his headdress. From there, Indian Head almost becomes three-dimensional. You can pick out a jawline and even a left ear. Some hockey fans try telling me Indian Head looks a lot like the Chicago Blackhawks logo, but I wouldn't know. Because I wouldn't waste my time watching the Chicago Blackhawks. Indian Head Rock is roughly 185 feet high.
Indian Head Rock, 185 feet high, roughly.
There used to be another section of
Grand
Portal that
Portal.
stuck out to about where the boat is now, covered an additional 6 acres, but that all came crashing down back in 1902. As for the archway inside Grand Portal, that came crashing down about 35 years ago. It's kind of a nesting ground for the area seagulls now. That's where they hatch and raise their young. Well, as we sneak you up a little closer to Grand Portal, you'll get a better perspective of its height. Swing this boat off to the left. As I do, keep your eyes off the bow of this battleship, and you'll see what we call Battleship Row, which is the stern ends or back ends of several of the old-type sailing vessels, all lined up in a row towards the beach. They kind of resemble the back ends of old pirate ships like the Black Pearl or the Flying Dutchman, also referred to as the Stranded Fleet. Keeping your eyes off the bow of this battleship, you'll start to see the sandy beach. Here they come now. Battleship Row.
Battleship Row. There you see them. Right down the line. They consider this Battleship Row. These are all supposed to be the bows of
the unique rock formation we're coming up on here is called the Broken Flower Base. You can imagine the many trees as the flowers and the rock is the base. Kind of narrow waist or stem and flares out at the bottom.
Broken base. The trees are the flowers. Broken base. These are considered Indian drums. Indian drums. When the waves come in here, it sounds like thunder.
The next thing I'm going to try to point out is actually the profile of a face. Look directly in front of the boat, you'll see 3 points sticking out. Once again, look directly in front of the boat, you'll see 3 points sticking out. On the closest of these 3 points, you'll see a round cave about a third of the way up. Try to imagine that round cave as a left eye. Nose is below it to the left.
Oh yeah,
Mustache
right here.
at water level. That's our pictured rocks pirate. He's even wearing a tricorder pirate's cap.
Pictures Rock
The
Pirate.
Pirate's Eye also doubles as nature's ice box. There is snow and ice in there this year all the way until the end of June. the smaller section of Grand Island right now, which is sometimes referred to as the Thumb. And on the Thumb is the old
Hey, that's going to do it for today here at Picturesque Rocks Cruises. It was a great trip. We loved it. The crew was great, very knowledgeable, telling us about different things and different formations out there on the rocks. We highly recommend this trip. It was excellent. We loved it. And if you get up here to Munising, Michigan, stop by. Go on a cruise. You'll love it. So from D+C McTravels, thanks for traveling with us. We'll see you again someday soon, hopefully. Have a good day.